Welcome to the show. We're live.
Woo!
Siete.
What's that mean?
7.
I gotta do it in order. It's like the alphabet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like if I don't do it in order, bye. That is a bucket list thing for me, though, to be able to speak another language. That would be pretty sweet. That's a lot of work, though.
I took 4 semesters of Spanish in college. Did I ever tell you this story?
I took 2 of American.
Oh, you took American signing?
It was amazing. I wish
I knew that.
And for me, it actually kind of hits home a little bit because I have a cousin who is deaf.
Wow.
I grew up with her. So we were able to sign as kids to communicate with her. And then in college, when it was offered as part of the language requirement, I jumped right on it. And for a while I was, it was pretty good, but it's one of those things like if you don't use it, you lose it, So I see her a couple times a year. She has 2 sons that are in 7th and 8th grade. They're both deaf as well. Her significant other is deaf. And then she just had a new baby a couple months ago, and the baby actually can hear. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Have you ever seen my man, the deaf QB coach?
Well, you saw the what is it, Gallaudet University, I think.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, the entire team and the way, and actually, my nephews, props to them. Like they do a lot of sports, and they play football, they wrestle, and their coaches have worked it out, and credit to them as well, have worked it out where they can communicate and be successful with it. And they're both dogs, man. They play some ball. It's pretty good. It's pretty interesting to see that dynamic because it's, it's not our world, but they make it work.
Well, yeah, it's funny because so what you were saying was I took 4 semesters of Spanish trying to learn Spanish. And I tried to duck it by doing 2 semesters in the summer at Bergen Community to go to Easy Way Out.
Yeah, of course you did.
And then I showed up semester. So for Spanish 3, I showed up at UConn for Spanish 3, and I walk in there, and they're talking full-blown Spanish,
That's
right?
it, from start to finish.
From start to finish.
And you're like, oh, let's go.
I was like, Well, I come to office hours.
It was difficult for me because in college, our teacher was actually deaf. So trying to teach it without using words, it was difficult, man. And it was one of those all athlete classes. Like the only guys that were in there were football players and girls basketball players. And we're kind of looking at each other like, oh boy, I think we screwed up, man.
That's wild.
One of those experiences, man, that's behind the scenes that people don't know, but definitely a bucket list, man. If I was able to speak another language, that would be so cool.
Yeah, that's really interesting. My Spanish teacher in college, we had like she cut me like a little deal. She would ask me questions about football, and I would answer it.
Listen, the only reason I got out of Spanish,
I would have to answer it in a sentence, and she would be like, "In Espanol," and I'm like, "Ah."
The only reason I got out of Spanish in high school was my teacher cut a deal with me. She's like, look, I will give you a passing grade as long as you promise to never take Spanish in this school again. And I said, gotcha, game over. Let's go. Sign away.
That's great.
Brutal, man. Brutal. So glad I came about and realized school was important. That's for sure.
So let's get into the first story of the day.
Kind of just breaking news, to be honest.
Breaking news by
Adam Schefter.
Okay, there you go.
He's the man, bro.
Michigan.
He's a Michigan guy.
Michigan cancels with Ohio State.
They have, I guess the COVID outbreak there is continuing to increase. So I guess they met this morning and they kind of made the decision to cancel the game with Ohio State. And now that causes a lot of issues because Ohio State now only has 5 games where the Big Ten has said you need at least 6 games in order to qualify for the Big Ten championship.
Oh my goodness, it's
And
unbelievable.
I don't know if there's too many teams out there that can, pull like a BYU and that would want to just dial it up against Ohio State. I mean, they're going to have to cut some type of deal with somebody, Look, we saw it in our season as far as finding a game, but now you're talking about a whole different level. You're talking about Division I college football. Ohio State, one of the top teams in the country, has basically, blown by everybody they've played, and now you're going to look to pick up a random game. You have to now find a team that's open, right? And we know that's difficult, an open date that somebody has, and then you got to work out the logistics. Like, who really wants to go play Ohio State unless you're going to get a pretty nice payday?
Well, I think they would. But
look, man, even if I'm an up and coming team and want to get,
maybe Coastal. Who does Coastal have this week?
I don't know, man. But I mean, look, I'm just saying, like, I think it's one of those situations that definitely sucks. Especially for the Ohio State players. They're kind of doing the right thing. I mean, even though their coach has been out for 2 weeks with COVID, they're still continuing to progress. Justin Fields at quarterback, the transfer from Georgia. I mean, that kid's a freak, man. He was actually on QB1, one of those shows that followed him through his senior year of high school. And then, he was originally at Georgia. Georgia decided to make the decision to stick with Jake Fromm. And ultimately, he transferred to Ohio State and has just been an absolute freak show ever since. So the team in general is obviously very good. What are they? Number 3, number 4 in the rankings. I just don't know who would want to dial it up against Ohio State.
I think they're 4 BCS rankings. Ohio State. So who has an open date?
That's pretty much now. You're
the matchmaker. Did you get on the phone and call up Ryan Day?
Yeah, listen, if anybody, I'm calling Justin Hartline, who just landed on that AFCA top 35 coaches under 35. So kudos to him. He's on his way up. He'll be an offensive coordinator at some point, definitely. But man, I'm just telling you, like, this is a big hit for Ohio State. And honestly, the Big Ten takes a hit with this because you're looking at the number 1 team in the Big Ten scrambling to find a game just to get to 6 in order to play in their conference championship. And that's tough. So, I don't think you can have a Big Ten conference championship leaving out the team that's the most deserving being in there just because they don't have 6 games. I know that the Big Ten administrations were meeting today to kind of figure out what the hell we can do. So maybe something comes out of that where they allow them into the game without 6 if they can't find one. I don't know. Is BYU open?
What do you think? Do you think they should be allowed in without?
Absolutely, 100%. I think they've proven it. I think just because you can't find a game, especially in this year with the logistics of everything going on, they're ultimately doing the right thing. They're not down with COVID or anything like that. So you're going to punish a team because something that's out of their control is going to inhibit them or limit them to amount of games. I just don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair to the players. I don't think it's fair to the administration. I just don't think it's fair in general. I think they should be allowed into the game. And ultimately, I think it would be better for football if they were in the game. You're going to, now put, and I think at this point right now, I think the Big Ten championship would be Ohio State versus Northwestern. And Northwestern's been on a tear this year. Their coach Fitzgerald played there. He's an alumni there. He's been there for a long time. He's really built that program up, which is tough because it's a high academic university. So for them to play a big school like Ohio State, I think would be an awesome game in general. But at the same time, like, do you want to? Ohio State should be in this game. I don't think they should be punished for something that's out of their control. But it's difficult. I mean, the Big Ten, you put this staple saying, look, you have to play 6 games in order to be in our conference championship. You have to do it. Something that's out of their control. They can't control that Michigan has COVID and needs to go down, and now they have to cancel a game. What they can control is trying to go find a game. So if they can do that and still play, then I think it's ready to go. I think it'll be good to go. But I'm telling you, the whole process of finding a game, especially at such a high level with the logistics, like it's incredible that BYU and Coastal made that thing work. To find a game basically on a Wednesday, prepare Thursday, and then go play on a Saturday night. Like there's a lot of that stuff. You're talking travel, you're talking all that kind of a lot. How is it like lodging, hotel wise, all that, all the logistics that go into a football game behind the scenes, other than the X's and O's that most people don't know about, is huge. You know, I mean, you got to get that 18-wheeler truck with all the equipment and get to the next place. So you're talking BYU driving, to Coastal Carolina. Now, whoever Ohio State's going to play, they have to the logistics of, hey,
well, I got one for you. How about this? Listen to this. So this week, Cincinnati-Tulsa has been postponed.
If Ohio State goes and dials it up with Cincinnati, that's phenomenal. You basically have – we were talking, if we expanded this playoff thing to 8, Cincinnati would be in, no doubt. So now you're having 2 top teams play. That would be phenomenal if they can make that work.
Well, the issue is the game is off because of COVID-19 cases, contact tracing with Cincinnati.
See, that's the problem. If it was with Tulsa, but so now maybe, I mean, that doesn't mean that Tulsa can't go play Ohio State.
Tulsa only has 1 loss. I think. Tulsa rated? Tulsa's 24. Why not?
Let's go, Tulsa. Tulsa, you're on the clock. Let's go.
Tulsa, you're on the clock. Coach Schuman, Coach D calling it. This is the game we want to see.
I just want to see a game.
Tulsa Hurricanes, baby.
I just want to see a game.
Are they the Hurricanes?
Hell no, they can't be. Tulsa's in Oklahoma.
What is Tulsa?
There's no way they're the Hurricanes, bro.
Tulsa's.
What is Cincinnati?
Tulsa's mascot. Let me see.
Cincinnati what? Tell me.
What are you guys doing here?
Oh, Troy!
Appearance. Okay, good. We got to go back upstairs, though. It's good seeing you, buddy.
I love you. Oh, he's all bundled up. See, this is the Northeast. He's all bundled up, man. It's cold out.
Oh, cold. They're playing outside.
Good for him. I ain't going outside.
Oh, yeah. We're like, you got to go. You got to go.
Listen, that was the best thing about Mount Olive was that indoor facility that I had. Phenomenal. Nothing like preparing for a state championship in a nice, warm bubble.
No doubt. So Tulsa's on the clock here, man. Like, make it happen.
Listen, that would be phenomenal. And ultimately, Ohio State is if this is the rules and this is how it works, they're going to be scrambling and doing everything in their power to try and get a game, just to be able to play. And I think that's a look. Director of football operations, who's ever in charge of finding games and scheduling, like, look, this is your time to shine. Make it happen. Get a game so Ohio State can get 6 and get into this conference championship, and then we'll go from there.
And go play Tulsa, man.
Go play. Look,
Tulsa will come through. Tulsa will definitely come.
Go play somebody. If it's supposed to be a home game, bring them here. Pay for their travel, like either their hotel, whatever. Give them money to play you. Whatever you have to do to make this thing happen. And the money you would spend to get a team to come to you, you're going to get right back if you're in this conference championship. So it's all going to work out, man. Like, let's just get on the field and dial it up against whoever. And look, these kids at Ohio State, they don't want to sit around. They don't want to miss out on a conference championship because some other team can't play them. I mean, this is the year of winging it, right? This is the year of, look, you got to be able to adjust it and go with whatever you need to do and kind of make things happen on the fly, adaptability, right? It's just like, hey, can we adapt to what the hell is going on and just play football?
Absolutely.
I hope it works out. I really do.
I hope that works out. We've given the blueprint here. Listen, power's bigger than us. Make it happen.
Guys that make a lot more money than us, it's in your control. But if you need some help, let us know. We can make some calls.
Yeah, if they're above 0, they're making more. All right, so.
Amen. Listen, we're on episode 7.
At least for the podcast, I should say.
That's okay. We're on episode 7. Like, maybe by the time we get to 10, we get a sponsor or something. Somebody can hook us up.
We'll have to get the business development team on that. So,
we can get a sponsor, no doubt.
Who wouldn't you want to who wouldn't want to sponsor these handsome guys right here?
So we obviously got to get a food place because that would be the hookup.
Hey, what about Grubhub?
Anybody.
All right.
That's a rough one. I'm telling you, that's a tough way to start this show. But look, hope Ohio State can make something happen. Michigan's got their own problems, as we know. Jim Harbaugh's got to handle whatever he can handle up there. I'll tell you that much. But, hopefully they can get a game and make something happen.
Also, Ohio State, you're on the clock. Okay.
Here we go.
That's a great opening segment. Some other things. So I posted. Well, I'll get to it first. I don't want to lose this other thing that I just came across that's really interesting, but we'll get to that later. I posted a couple things today that I thought were. Let's see. Share my screen. Okay. So I'm just sharing the screen here real quick with our high tech so we could really, So I posted this today. I don't know if you could see it. Basically it is, and I basically, without getting political, obviously you can see some political lines along it, but New Jersey and PA still played, and Georgia still played. But the states that played, it's very interesting versus the states that didn't play. And I post this for one reason alone, is that I love that the opportunity that we had, that New Jersey and PA, also kudos to them, were out, and New Hampshire, I guess, on the East Coast, were the outliers, which was great. So our kids could get a chance to play in these games. But I thought the bigger thing was how the opportunities that our kids got, and any kids that played this fall, versus the opportunities possibly seized from the kids that don't get to play. And there was an interesting comment because a coach from North Carolina said that they're on schedule to play, and I'm sure some of them will. Okay, I'm sure some of them will. I'm going to take the kind of slant from a recruiting standpoint. How does this all play out in recruiting? Okay, obviously I am a proponent of playing. I'm sure you're a proponent of having played. We benefited from that. The people who didn't play, who may play in the spring, we don't know if they will or they won't, but may play in the spring. What happens? And I'm gonna switch this band around because we're talking about what happens with those players in recruiting. This is like the $50 million question, right? For those players who have not played this fall and are seniors. Okay. And let's even say even juniors, right? Because the spring
is the time
recruiting for the players that are going to be seniors the following year. And that's when a lot of the offers go out. What happens? What do you think happens in this time period here? What happens to these players, the seniors first, and then these underclassmen? Do both of these classes lose out on huge opportunities in the states that didn't play?
So you're talking about 2021s and 2022s, and
Correct.
we know that for 2022s, the spring after that junior year, when you're still a junior, you're in the second half of the year, is huge because that's when, most of your big time offers come, and it's based off of basically your junior year film, right? So we're talking about kids that haven't played because of whatever. So they didn't have a season. They don't really have tape unless they played as a sophomore. But then you're looking at sophomore tape. You have another year of development, another year of maturing, another year of lifting, running, growing, perfecting your craft. Sophomore film to junior year is usually one of the biggest jumps that you see in the development of a player. So if you're talking about now seasons being pushed for the 2022s, I don't think it affects them as much as it does the 2021s, because look, if you're still going to play in the spring, okay, now you have to push things back a little bit. Obviously recruiting will be, altered and adjusted accordingly based off of what's going on. I think the ones that hurt this the most is your 2021s who are good enough to play college football, but needed another year of film to kind of solidify what level they're going to have the ability to play at. So, I mean, we talk about it all the time. We are so fortunate that we got 6 games in, and our guys that needed to get on tape got on tape. And ultimately, it looks like we're going to have, the players that are supposed to be playing or want to be playing college football are going to be doing that. I'm not sure if they would be at the levels that they're at if we did not have those 6 games and those guys did not get that tape. I think for the 2021s, the seniors that didn't play and now have to play ultimately in the spring, I think it hurts them in a recruiting base because, a lot of these smaller schools, Division III, Division II, I don't think are going to pull a trigger on a guy that doesn't have his senior year film, and they need to really like a player or need a player at a certain position in order to wait until the spring to kind of wrap those guys up. So I think it's really tough. I feel bad for the 2021s that haven't played yet. Ultimately, hopefully it'll work out that they're going to get some games in the spring and get some tape, and hopefully something falls through and they get something. But if they're sitting there, if the 2021s are sitting there expecting to get, offers, I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, that's the thing. So what have we seen mostly? Most people who probably a lot of players that would have been closer on the border of getting offers are just getting PWOs, and that's
right. They're getting preferred walk-ons. They're getting, and look, I hope ultimately, I really want to say something here that people need to understand. Division III does not give athletic scholarships. Okay, you can get money to a Division III through grants, through academic scholarships, but you're not getting athletic money. So when somebody says, hey, I got an offer from such and such a school that's a Division III, it's not a full offer. What it is it's an opportunity for a roster spot.
Right.
Okay. I think a lot of these players, and we see it all the time, guys love to post, hey, I got an offer, I got this. It's not an offer like we're talking Division I or Division II where you're getting a full ride. Okay. You're getting a roster spot. You're getting an opportunity to go to a school and compete to be there. But you ultimately are paying your own way unless you have some other type of money coming in regards to a grant, in regards to academic money. That's why we always say
you're paying your freight. And you know what's interesting? Do
you got it? That's why our players
post-grads benefit from this? Do post-grad schools and JUCOs benefit from this for guys?
Absolutely. Your 5th-year schools, like you said, your JUCOs are going to benefit from this because they haven't played a season. So now I need to get more tape. Let me go here for a year and then see what I can get. But ultimately, like we always say, you have to take care of business off the field. So take care of your academics, be a good human being. That stuff, if you do that, then we have a foundation in order to push you or help you get recruited by a school that's willing to take a shot on somebody who has a high academic or their grades are good. They've got a good SAT or an ACT. They've handled all that off the field stuff. And now when we're talking about going to a Division III school, look, we can get you money to go there because you've taken care of business in a classroom.
Fair points. I think that if
it really is a brutal situation,
it's a brutal situation, and thousands of opportunities for players have been lost. It has created a second opportunity for players who are currently there, so they will not lose their opportunity, which is fair.
And that's the other part that's an issue, right? Yeah, because if you're recruiting somebody, I have a guy who's playing. My quarterback, is a senior, but he's getting his year back. So if you're talking about, quote, the lower levels of college football where these guys aren't going to the next level, right? For the most part, they're playing football because they love the game. They're not going to get
D3 will benefit tremendously from this.
Who's that?
D3 will benefit tremendously from this.
Absolutely. But here's the thing, and I always look at it because as a Division III player, played in the NJAC conference for Montclair State, the NJAC conference alone has a rule that says you can only bring, I believe it's either 120 or 120 or 125 players to camp. So there's only a certain number of roster spots you can fill as a Division III team in the NJAC conference.
Not good or fair to the current high school players. Definitely a boost for D3. I also think at the Division I level, a huge boost for the non-Power 5 conferences and teams that are on the fringe, even in the Power 5, who've struggled. Why do I say that? Because now some of these players that may normally have gone somewhere else may come down to you. And
go ahead.
So let's say, I don't know, I'll use Ohio State as an example here. Let's say Ohio State has 4 or 5 players that decide to come back and because it was a pandemic year or whatever, I don't know, use another year, right? So those are 4 to 5 scholarships that are no longer in use, okay? And I don't know whether Ohio State would do this or not, but I'm just saying. So now 4 or 5 guys that may have gone to Ohio State may go to Cincinnati. Now, as a program, you could also make some conscious choices. You don't have to let those players come back.
You can tell them, look, your time's up. See you later.
Yeah, we're not renewing your scholarship. That's one of the things that people don't realize. Now, they're not going to do it for mostly guys who are doing everything they're supposed to do. But if there's a guy that's been giving them a problem or something,
or he's on the cusp.
Yeah, I don't.
And that's another thing I don't think a lot of people that you just hit on that a lot of people don't know is that scholarships are year to year.
1 year renewable.
That's it. So you look, if you're just because you got a full ride to Ohio State doesn't mean you're going to be there the next year, brother.
That's exactly right. It's exactly
Here's
right.
the other thing that I've seen a lot of and people have said a lot of. If you have a relationship with a player as a recruiter, the kid now with the inability to take visits or go to other schools or see other schools, they're going to now stick with what they know. So if you've developed a relationship with, say, a kid as a sophomore, and now he's getting all these offers, but he might not be comfortable because he can't go see the school. He hasn't been to the school. He's only talked to the coaches through Zoom, whereas maybe he's developed a personal relationship with another school that recruited him from day one. He may now lean and just say, you know what, I'm going to go with what I'm comfortable with.
Absolutely. That's a good point. Very good point right there.
And the second point I want to make is, look, with everything going on as far as, the COVID outbreaks and things like that, certain players are not going to want to go so far away. So I think geographics, I think location is huge. Look, ultimately, your 5-star guys are going to do what they want to do. They're still going to take the opportunities that they get and things like that. But the more it trickles down to 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, and the star rating thing is whatever. I could care less how many stars you got, because unless you can perform with helmets and shoulder pads on, it is what it is. But at the same time, I think, why am I going to go across the country to maybe a hot spot with COVID when I can stay home, be safer, and take care of my family if, God forbid, something happens, right? Like, do you really want to be quarantined in California if you're from Ohio? Or do you want to be, I don't know, this comes down to the type of kid, how you were raised, the things like that. What are you comfortable with? Is that something you're willing to do?
Those are interesting points. That list of states that I posted that had it played, could those states also be affected when it comes to college recruiting? The Pac-10 is a bit Pac-10, Pac-12?
12.
And I know I'm so that every once in a while I just date myself, and I date myself when I say,
Well, I'm here, brother.
Thank goodness I didn't say Big 8. Is Nebraska in the Big 8?
Never heard of it. Listen, I got you down, bro. That's why I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
That's why you hired me.
Yeah, I think that those states.
I mean, they were even talking about it
recruiting out of state. So if you're recruiting in state, I don't think it'll be an issue.
No.
But if you're for the most part, maybe someone wants to leave. But if you're, let's say, UCLA, who's like been approving a lot, right? And now he goes and recruits some Texas kids. Do you think a Texas kid is going to go to California when things are on the cusp of may or may not happen? And what happens if something happens again? Okay, similar. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
So now you're dealing with the same thing again. That is got to be a consideration for recruits. My guess is that.
So now you're looking at, okay, if geographically we have to kind of let's focus on where we are and recruit the best guys in our area, that could change the entire dynamics of college football. Now you're looking at Florida kids staying home. Now, look, do they have great options to go to schools in Florida? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want to be a Hurricane or a Gator or a Seminole? I mean, you even have Florida Atlantic, Florida International. You have 5 Division I programs within the state. If these kids say, you know what, I don't want to go to Texas, I don't want to go to Ohio, I don't want to leave the state, okay, I'll just stay home. Which one of these 5 can I pick from? You may see powers like Florida State, Miami coming back, and wow, because their rosters are just filled with kids that are in their state. Look at Texas, right? University of Texas, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, University of Houston, God knows how many other schools. Those guys, if they could keep their guys in Texas now, look out. California, same thing. USC, UCLA, San Diego State, San Jose State. And then look at Ohio.
Beliefs too. Depends. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I am rude sometimes, and that should be all right. So
that rude.
What I was going to say was, and depending on where you come from, if you think some of those like lockdown things were good or bad, if you're from a state and your family thinks that it was a good idea, maybe you stay close to home and, I don't know, New Jersey, like this New Jersey.
Yeah, what was one of the things that they've used? They said fence the garden, right? They want to fence the garden. All right, so now if all New Jersey, that's the Twitter thing. I saw it on Twitter. It was a Rutgers thing. I don't know. Let's fence the garden. I kind of think it was a Chris Ash thing.
I think I want to throw the Ash things out. Throw them out.
Hey, the Texas defense is playing pretty good.
He is a good defense. He's a good defense coordinator. No one said he isn't a good defense coordinator.
Listen. We know Rutgers is a tough place to coach, and I'm not coming down on anybody that didn't do well anywhere, because obviously there's a lot of factors that we have no idea about. And it's not like a coach isn't giving a full effort and he's not going into trying to lose. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Didn't work out. Schiano's here now, and obviously I think he's going to do a great job keeping guys in state. But like I said, that this whole thing and the geographics could change the dynamics. And you look at power states with a lot of Division I programs like Florida, Texas, California. I mean, even Ohio. You got Ohio State, Cincinnati, Akron, right? Like these schools could now start to keep their guys at home because they don't want to travel or go anywhere far away in case something like another outbreak happens. That could be huge. What? Yeah, what's wrong with the Zips?
The Zip, baby.
Listen, dude.
Their coach was Terry Bowden. You know the history of Terry Bowden?
Clemson.
Well, now I'm thinking, was it Terry Bowden or?
So you can't just say stuff and then like go back and be like,
I was fact checking myself in my head, and I'm thinking so. But yes, I'm fact checking myself in my head. So Terry Bowden, that's right. So he was Clemson. He had the little issue there.
Wait, Bowling Green too. Bowling Green's in Ohio, isn't it?
He was is he still with the Zips, Terry?
I don't know.
He was turning.
All I know is Ohio has something like 5 Division I.
Oh no, it's Tom Arth. I don't know who.
Right? You have University of Ohio as well with Frank Solich. I mean, you have 5 Division I programs within the state itself.
Ohio State, Ohio. All right, here's our quiz of the day. Can you name all of them?
How many are there?
Or do you want me to name them? Try to name them.
I'll crush it.
All right, hold on. Let's see.
Pull the list up. I think I already said them.
All right.
And we're going, it's Division I programs in Ohio, correct?
Only BCS, right. All right, you ready? The
Ohio State.
There's Division I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
There's 9 Division I programs in Ohio.
Correct.
One of our on our chat here, Mo Critton says Bowling Green is in Kentucky. I don't think that's right.
Bowling Green is in Ohio.
Correct. So let me see.
There is a bowling.
So wait,
town Bowling Green, Kentucky, and there may be.
Yeah, we're talking about the Division I team there, Mo. But you are correct, but not correct. Sorry, buddy. Okay. So here we go. So there's 9.
9.
Okay. Ohio State.
Correct.
University of Ohio.
Correct.
Bowling Green.
Correct.
Akron.
Correct.
Cincinnati.
Correct.
That's 2, 4. That's 6. I have 3 more.
5. That's 5.
Ohio State, Ohio, Bowling Green, Akron, Cincinnati.
5.
5. Wow. And we're talking Division I, right? Because like Youngstown State that's not included, correct?
Oh, you know what? There's actually 8. You're right. 8. I'm sorry. There's 8. 8. You have 3 to go. 8.
That's tough. Youngstown State is not, right? Correct? They're FCS?
There's 3 to go. One of them was our answer to our quiz question last week. You didn't name it.
Well, obviously not. If I'm not naming it now.
You knew it. I didn't know it.
Oh, that's tough.
There's a guy in the NFL. It's a quarterback that's from there.
Oh, Miami, Ohio.
There you go. That's 6. You got 2 to go. I'll give you hints.
Yeah, I need something.
One's nickname is the Rockets.
Toledo,
correct.
That's right. Oh.
And the 8th one is, I don't know. Oh, you're a history guy. During a protest, there was a bunch of people that were killed, I think, by the National Guard.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Kent State.
Correct.
I'll tell you what. I did pretty damn good because I don't think many people could name those schools. So
most of them are MAC schools, the Mid-American.
8 Division I programs. 8 Division I programs in one state. Damn. Mm-hmm. You think any?
Shout out, Mo.
That's just that's crazy. So, like I said, you're telling me if you're an Ohio kid and one of these schools gives you an offer, you're going to leave Ohio?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm going to leave Ohio unless it's Ohio State. But
what if one of these is your only offer?
Well, if one of them's the only offer, which is probably the case in a lot of cases, then yeah, you're going.
Obviously, if you're an Ohio kid, you want to go to Ohio State for the most part, I would think. Right? Now, if I can't go to Ohio State and one of these other schools either gives me an offer or a PWO, a preferred walk-on, I think I'm going because, look, I have the opportunity to stay home and play. What we're also forgetting is you have basically – historically speaking, the best Division III program within the state itself in Mount Union.
Yeah, Division III, they're very good. Yeah, well, they get a lot of the guys that
trickle down out of these schools.
Absolutely, no doubt.
So the question, I guess, becomes, am I going to take a full ride to Kent State, play Division I, or do I take a roster spot with Mount Union and probably win a national championship at the Division III level?
You 100% go to Kent State. Are you crazy?
I'm sorry, brother, but I'm going to Mount Union.
I'm not playing Division III unless if I have a scholarship offer.
I'm sorry, but I'd rather go to Division. Man. I would rather go to Division III and compete.
No, you wouldn't.
I am not going to Kent State and losing majority of my career. I hate losing more than I like to win. I wouldn't be able to take it. Whether you're giving me free gear and a scholarship and I'm playing at a Division I level. Look,
I don't believe
Division I, Division II, Division III. I don't care what it is. I'm a competitor and I need to win. I'm not going to Kent State to go 1-9 every single year, just because I want a Division I offer. I could care less. I want to go somewhere where I'm going to win and the culture.
While you're ripping Kent State, do they actually go 1-9 every year? I don't know that that's the case.
I don't know. I'm going off of historically speaking. I want to go to a winning program, somewhere where we're going to win, and the culture is we have to win. The bar is here. Kent State, I'm sure, is happy with, hey, look, we got into a bowl game this year. Great. How many years in a row have they railed off? Have they ever been in the top 25? I don't know.
What about guys that want to go to the NFL? I mean, come on, you're not going to the NFL from Mount Union. You have no chance.
What are you talking about? Pierre Garçon? They've put guys in
one.
All right, so you got to work. How many guys from
Kansas in the history? Oh, I can tell you right now. The Golden Flashes. I'm just looking at what's on Wikipedia. 1, 2. Antonio Gates. Although he played basketball there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wait, hang on. Where did Julian Edelman play quarterback?
6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Julian Edelman came from Kent State.
All right, good. One guy.
What? Antonio Gates?
Okay, now go and look. And obviously, I get it. I understand
where you're coming from.
I understand where you're coming from. I respect it, but I'm just telling you right now, bro. I want to go somewhere where we're going to win. I want to win.
James Harrison?
Unless I'm the type of person that wants to, that feels like, look, I can go to Kent State, I can compete, change a culture, get
Jack Lambert?
Great, 1970, whatever. Look, bro, I'm just telling you right now, I want to go somewhere where I'm going to win.
Let's move to a feel-good story here.
Oh, you're such a mean
Well, it's not
guy.
feel-good because it's sad that he passed away, but he was 97. Okay.
Yesterday, we also didn't even mention yesterday that it was the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. So, respect to all those dudes, brutal day, but ultimately, sparked the fire under our asses in the United States to say we got to do something. I love in the movie where they say, the head of the Japanese says, I think we just woke a sleeping giant. That's what happened, dude. Don't piss us off.
That's how I know it's my sister's birthday. She was born on Pearl Harbor Day.
I wish her a happy birthday.
No, look at you.
Damn right. I want to visit Maine, bro.
You don't get yourself in trouble with your wife.
Listen, I okayed it with her first, and I told her we could get a vacation out of this, and she was all happy until I told her it was Maine.
Yeah, well, that's true. Okay. So Chuck Yeager, do you know who Chuck Yeager is?
I do not.
You don't know who Chuck Yeager is?
Fill me in. That's why I do this show. I learn something every day.
Let me just take a second to just.
Oh, here we go. We're off today because I'm telling you, you're going to Kent State. I'm going to Mount Union. Now I don't know somebody. You're all rattled. Like, let's go.
Chuck Yeager was a fighter pilot in World War II.
Top Gun.
He's also, if you saw the movie The Right Stuff, did you ever see that?
Nope.
You've never seen the movie The Right Stuff?
Nope.
It's about the it's about basically the arms race to go into space. Okay. And they choose initially to go like John Glenn. You know who John Glenn is?
Yes, I know who John Glenn is. The first guy to freaking be in space.
John Glenn was not the first guy. He was the first guy to orbit the moon, I believe.
Okay.
I don't think he was the first guy in space. I think the first guys in space was
Okay.
what were their names? One of them passed away.
Listen, I've seen Apollo 13 a lot.
Oh, who's the guy? It's not. No, it's Apollo 13's different. Anyway, so Chuck Yeager was basically the best fighter pilot of his day. He broke the sound barrier. He was like broke all these like world records. He was the best fighter pilot of his day, but they did not give him an opportunity to be one of the people who were the first people to go into space. Do you know why?
I'm learning.
Take a guess. You got a guess?
He was hard of hearing.
No, it was not hard of hearing. Oh, God.
He didn't have 20/20 vision.
No, believe me, he had great vision. The reason why he wasn't because he didn't go to college. And back then, their rule was
Interesting.
he wasn't that, which meant that he probably wasn't a commissioned officer, is my guess.
That's kind of brutal.
Yeah. So The Right Stuff is a great movie because he's kind of a everybody knows him. He's the most respected guy. People are furious when they choose the people and he's not chosen. Even though
I'm sure people were outraged.
Well, he was so upset. He went and broke the sound. I think it was the sound barrier he broke. And then someone could fact check me if I'm wrong on this. And then when he basically his plane kind of crashes. He survives a plane crash.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's like iron. Okay, he's like iron. So, but
I don't think I'm surviving one of those.
I think I know what maybe it wasn't he broke the sound barrier first to break the sound barrier earlier. He tried to go. That's what it was. He went. He tried to take a plane, which he broke the record, higher in altitude than anyone has ever gone before. Basically, he went straight up as far as he possibly could with a fighter plane because he was so upset. And then basically it malfunctioned after he broke the record.
Well, no shit. It ain't supposed to go that high.
Right. He's basically taking it to the moon. His fighter
he said, you know what? Screw it. If I die, I'm going out this way.
Yeah, he's great. And then for many years, he used to do commercials for, I want to say castor oil, but
what's that?
You don't even know. I don't think it's. I don't know if it's even around anymore. But it was like
oil for a car.
No, but like oil changes and stuff.
Yeah, so like oil for a car. Listen, I guess respect to him, bro, because he was
he's the man.
Through it.
So anyway, so Chuck Yeager.
What's his name?
Chuck Yeager. Chuck Yeager. His
Yeager, like how do you spell it? I can't see it. Yeager.
Yeah.
Chuck Yeager.
Yes.
Coach DePascal will research Chuck Yeager and something will be posted.
I was right. He did break the sound barrier.
Something will be posted about Chuck Yeager within 24 hours.
Who said that?
I did.
Chuck Yeager, he died at 97 years old.
I don't want to live to 97.
97 years old.
There's no way I'm making it to 97.
He has the Purple Heart, Bronze Star Medal, Distinguished Flying Cross, Legion of Merit, Silver Star, Army Distinguished Service Medal, Air Force Distinguished Service Medal, World War II and Vietnam War veteran.
So he killed it.
World War II and Vietnam War veteran. That's amazing.
It seems like yesterday I was standing here in the Brown family locker room wishing you the best of luck on a new season.
Coach Shiano.
Well, you've done a great job. The sacrifice and the perseverance you've displayed to get to this point, to stay healthy and to push through, and for the most part, to play all of your games. Wow, that's a tribute. It's a tribute to you, to your coaches, and to your families. The sacrifices you all made, tremendous effort. I want to send you out with a holiday greeting. Spend time with your families, enjoy each other, and most of all, stay safe and God bless.
What was that? What was that?
Here, Coach Shiano released that today. Just kind of a kind of like a kudos to fighting through the times and doing the right thing. And he's got me hook, line, and sinker, dude. I think that's what he does. He's so good at is the ability to communicate and just get people to buy in. Whether it's a jersey thing, whether it's his personality individually, I just think that he's good. He's good at talking, man. The X's and O stuff follow along with that. But if you're a good, motivator, communicator, if you're a people person, I think you can get a lot more done. I think that's what he is. So, I mean, I'm going with Rutgers all day, every day now, but I am a little I don't like the fact that they're Adidas. I'm not a 3-stripe guy, but it is what it is. We'll rock with it.
Oh, it's interesting. The movie kind of changed it. He actually didn't crash. He actually got control of it. The movie crashes.
I love how you're just so like when you get dialed in on something, like everything around you is oblivious. Like I just had a whole.
Yeah, I like Gianna. He's great. Yes, he does a great job.
This guy is gonna drive me crazy.
He does a great job. He'll turn the program around. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So I think there's a couple things that I wanted to bring up. We'll see what you. Let me get this off here. But yeah, God bless
Chuck Yeager.
Chuck Yeager. Rest in peace, my man. All right, so Alex Smith last night. You watched the game?
Of course I did. Steelers go down.
Steelers go down.
And look, I've been an Alex Smith fan since, he came into the league. His story is absolutely amazing. If you can see the E60 on it, make sure you're not very queasy because there is some stuff in there that's just absolutely incredible to see. The fact that, what he went through as far as getting injured on the field at the same yard line in the same type of uniform, just like Joe Theismann did. It's actually creepy to see the similarities to it. Ultimately, he developed staph infection and MRSA within after the surgery. I mean, he was literally on his deathbed. And to come back 2 years later and now take over base as the starting quarterback of the Washington Football Club and lead these guys to a victory over, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, it was just awesome to watch. You look at it.
Talking about this bloody wound he had too.
Bro, brutal. Absolutely. I'm telling you, if you watch the E60, they're very graphic in showing what's there.
No, I'll tell you what happened in the game. I think he got a
compound leg fracture.
No, I'm saying in this game he got a cut, so he's playing through that. So if you
watch the E60 and see where he was at. Literally not walking for months. He had one of those halo braces on the area that was hurt itself.
Yep.
You see him now get out into an NFL game and play quarterback where dudes are trying to get after you and hit you, and it could easily happen that spot gets hit or something like that. See him go out there, put that out of his mind mentally and still play the game at such a high level to now go and take it and win a game of this caliber, of this level, I think is just incredible. And you look at him and it's not like he's timid in anything that he's doing. I mean, he is all go, bro. And it was great to watch.
31 of 46 for 296 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception.
He dropped some dimes. There was a play where he was actually moving to his left and kind of threw it back across his body and hit a receiver on a crosser. Perfect ball, perfect spot, bam, big play, first down. I mean, the throw itself, it was just phenomenal to see him do that. To see him conduct himself as an NFL quarterback. We know he's won in the league with San Francisco, with the teams that he's been on and things like that. But to come in ultimately because of injuries and because of things going on and now lead his team. It's just phenomenal. I mean, you can watch it right here.
Third and long. It's a four-man rush. Smith can't find anyone. Dancing away from trouble. Now gets it out into the flat. Still work to do for Sims.
I mean, just a little play like that where he's got to maneuver and get out of the pocket, you know. Obviously, the strength of the Washington team is their defensive line. They're phenomenal.
3 and out on their first possession. Here is Gibson. Good run. Antonio Gibson, first down and more.
Now he's realizing he's going to get a lot of touches during the game, and he's not pressing as much.
So Peyton Barber comes in and running back the blitz, and it gets to Smith. The old Tampa Bay Bucks in 2003 did that. Here is Smith back to throw. Oh, one-handed catch. And a splendid catch it was by Logan Thomas.
He had a great game. Logan Thomas played phenomenal.
Smith 9 catches on the day.
Looking, growing underneath, and there's some work to do, and they're not going to get there. Another 3rd and long, a 3rd and 9 this time. Smith being chased by Hayward, throws it on the one, has a completion.
Yeah.
Thomas, but
I'm telling you, he does enough to what he has to do.
Games in the 4 minutes.
Washington actually lost their starting running back, I believe, on the first series.
As a man, Washington holds it. And he delivers with 30 yards there as they will run it here, looking for McFarland, and that's on a 3rd and short. Roethlisberger coming near side, and it is in. 3rd and 8. 4-man rush. Quick throw. Dropped again. Think about it. They had the drop.
That happened all night for both teams.
As Roethlisberger surveys the field, and underneath throw again, getting Ebron involved. 3rd and 1. Steelers will run it to Snell, who has got it. He does enough to move the change for Pittsburgh.
2020, and I think they need to rediscover it here.
Ben gets it.
It's a lot of highlights, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to move along.
Blocking is the backwards a little play. Smith under duress gets rid on time to Thomas. Oh, what a move. Logan Thomas surging forward.
That's a big man making that move right there.
4-man rush. Smith going deep down the field, and it is caught.
Yeah, dime.
Dim.
The perfect ball, bro.
Smith sees it, gets rid of it. It is incomplete to give Washington the lead. And Hopkins is good. Sweat knocked it up in the air. Bostic picked it off.
That was the very next series.
3rd and 12, and Barber cutting back. He's got to stay in bounds, and he knows it, so he'll just fall down now.
That was it.
11 seconds. Roethlisberger going for Ebron, makes the catch, and he's down to team with the upset in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
It's a huge win.
What are they, 4 and 7?
Yeah, and they're in that NFC East where the Giants are leading because the Giants have beat them twice. But Washington, Ron Rivera is the new head coach there. He just got finished going through, chemo treatments for cancer and whatnot. It's just a great all-around story. You got a head coach fighting through something. You got, Alex Smith, who if he's not the comeback player of the year, if not the comeback player of the century, I don't know what people are looking at. 2 feel-good stories. They're winning. They're changing some things. Their defensive line is ridiculous. It was just a good game to watch. And ultimately, they got the W, and I got the win. So I love it.
Oh, a little gamba.
We made picks last night, and I hit on them both, 2-0.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that's right, and I was wrong because I picked the Steelers.
It's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
So I was 1 for 1, I guess.
Well, we got a game tonight too, baby.
That's right. Tonight is
Dallas and Baltimore.
My boys from Dallas.
Oh, I love it. Let's go, Andy Dalton. Woo!
I think you're trying to get me upset.
I don't understand how you have that many weapons on the Cowboys and they're losing games. I don't understand it. I get that they don't have their starting quarterback, but you have Ezekiel Elliott, one of the best running backs in the country. You have receivers in Amari Cooper and what's his name, the new dude he's a rookie. He's They're freak shows. How can you not do something, especially when you have a running back? Look, if you have a backup quarterback, but you still have one of the best backs in the league, turn around and hand it off. I don't care who you have blocking. You can get something.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know their
Dallas
defense.
has been a
I know
little
their defense is
disappointment.
horrific. The defense is horrific. It's bad. I get it. But, I mean, it isn't like Baltimore's playing that well. I mean, Lamar Jackson comes back tonight, but he's had 2 weeks off for COVID. What's he going to look like?
He's going to – yeah. Who are you picking?
I got to go Baltimore.
I gotta pick the boys. Come on.
I know.
Cowboys.
Let me see. I think the last time I looked at it, it was 6.5.
Their favorite over 6.5 points. Yeah, that might be a good.
Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. Cowboys +9. So Baltimore's favored by 9.
That's not a bad.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tight. That's close.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal there. You know,
Especially with Baltimore, all the issues they got, guys out, who's not playing. They're not playing very well right now. Look, I love John Harbaugh because obviously he's got a special teams background, and I flock to that like crazy. But at the same time, and look, I know Greg Roman is a great offensive coordinator. He did a ton in San Fran when he had Kaepernick and whatnot. Lamar Jackson is an absolute freak show. But look, anybody with 2 weeks off, it scares me a little bit. The Cowboys did play somewhat well on Thanksgiving against the Washington Football Club. But I just really don't know. I think maybe, hopefully for me, I think the Ravens this is a wake-up call, and they need to make a statement on national television. So let's hope that they do. And unfortunately for your boys, they're going to be the opponent that has to take it on the chin.
Oh yeah, well that's
9 is a lot though.
9's a lot of points, man. I mean, it's the boys, man. It's the boys.
Look, I'm excited. There's some really good games this weekend that I am excited to see. I love this Thursday night matchup that we're having with New England and LA, the Rams. I think that's great. I can't wait to see that. You have the Chiefs playing the Dolphins. So you have, the one of, if not the best offense in the league against the Miami Dolphins in one of the great defenses in the league. And I think that the Dolphins are on the right track. You have the Cardinals playing the Giants. The Giants, obviously, is Daniel Jones going to come back, or are they going another game with Kaepernick? They're coming off a huge win. Can they continue that momentum and make things happen in Arizona? Minnesota and Tampa Bay. I think that's another really good one. For some reason, I love Minnesota. Dalvin Cook is an absolute freak show. He actually came up here with Miami Central when he was in high school and played Bosco the year after I left, and absolutely demolished them. I mean, it was absolutely disgusting. You have the Colts against the Raiders is a good game. Saints Eagles, where some breaking news in Doug Peterson named Jalen Hurts the starting quarterback. So Carson Wentz is out. Carson Wentz is out.
I like Jalen Hurts. Listen, right now they're not getting what they want out of Carson Wentz for whatever reason.
Hopefully for him, it's a wake-up call. I don't care how much money you paid him. He's got to do his job, and ultimately, I don't think he's doing it right now. He needs a wake-up call or something to make things happen.
He's in a funk, and
he is. It's a mental. He's in some type of not very good mental state right now.
Yeah, when you get in a slump, it's you got to work your way through that, and one of the issues. So maybe it is a wake up call for him. It's Philadelphia. I'll tell you the Giants are on a roll. So.
Giants, Washington, Dallas, and the Eagles.
Yeah, no doubt. So it's something that we'll see going forward. What will happen? I mean, upcoming, this week, there's a whole lot of stuff shaping up with the NFL, with the BCS. What do we? When is the Florida and Texas state championships in football? Are this coming up this week or?
Florida right now is in, I believe, the semifinals. So whoever wins this weekend ultimately goes to a championship. But like my boy down there was saying, is because of the way they structured it this year and how they did the playoffs, what they did was basically, because everybody started at a different point, is they just did basically blind draws. Everybody got into the playoffs. So some people had to play a play-in game. Some people had to but the matchups themselves were, I believe, basically names in a hat, pull them out, and they're matched up. So
wow.
If you look at the scores from some of these quote-unquote playoff games, they've been blowouts. I'm talking like 55-0, 47-7, stuff like that, because of the blind matchups where you weren't really you were just putting teams together. Like my boy said, is that he's played teams in the first and second round that were way more difficult than he would see in the finals.
They beat Bartram Trail.
Who are you looking at?
I'm just looking at 8A. So in 8A, you got Bartram Trail lost to Seminoles. Seminoles playing Apopka.
Apopka's always a good team.
Right. Palmetto's playing Osceola after Chief Osceola.
These are the matchups right now for this weekend?
Yeah.
So you're looking at 8A. You're looking at the big dogs. St. Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, that's the last four.
So then look at if you want to look at 7A. 7A is St. Thomas Aquinas.
So 7A.
I don't know if they're in it, but that's the division that they're in. That's the size of the school.
Oh, St. Thomas Aquinas. So the last four left here are St. Thomas.
So let's retrace.
Whoa,
You started growing your business.
advertising. Max Preps, they love to get their advertising in. St. Thomas Aquinas of Bloomingdale. And Niceville versus Edgewater. Edgewater used to be bad. I guess they're good now. Okay.
Or they just saw a soft schedule going through the playoffs. Like, you really don't know. My boys' team, American Heritage, is 5A.
All right. So, I thought Seminole was your buddies. Okay. So, 5A, 6A is Palmetto Central versus Central. It's Miami Central, I'm guessing. And then
Miami Central is some big dogs, bro.
St. Augustine versus Lake Mineola. I feel like Lake Mineola was like so 5A is like our size of school, right? Kind of.
Somewhat. Obviously, they just got some big dogs.
American Heritage against Jesuit. Jesuit's always pretty good.
That's that. Well, he said, this is basically the championship. If they get through this one and get to the finals, they should be good. Not saying anything about the other teams and whatnot, but he said because of the way that I believe if you look at it, they beat Miami Northwestern in like one of the first rounds.
Oh, Jesuit beat the quarterback for Jones High School's father. I'm friends with. Great player. His last name. I can't believe it slipped my mind.
I mean, look, they were on national television.
Jesuit beat Jones 40-24. Jones is good.
They were American Heritage was on national TV when they played St. Thomas Aquinas, and they ultimately lost to them. But their starting quarterback was down, and they took a quarterback athlete and just threw him in the backfield. They have some freak show running backs. Their defense is something like I've never seen. I mean, they literally bring a pressure from somewhere, shape, or form every play, and you really have no idea where they're coming from. And they have such athletes, it's scary. I know the safety is already verbaled 100% to Miami. They're talking about him being the next Sean Taylor, and from some of the highlights I've seen and the way he hits, he could be. My buddy was telling me they actually get flagged so much for 15-yarders because they're so physical. I mean, we're talking tackles where they pick guys up and just drop them on their head.
That's crazy. Texas has their what is Texas?
Now Texas has how many? Because I know Florida has 8, right? 8 sizes. You know, you look at us, we have, you know, group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. You know, what does Texas have?
Texas goes all the way up to 6A, D1, and D2. I don't know what that means, but let me see. I'll see who's in it. 6A. Max Preps, please. They just every time I click, it's great that they have it. I gotta go through ads. See, so Midland Lee is in 6. Trinity. Okay, so this is the big ones. 6A D1. Allen. They're just about to start. And my buddy's the CEO, the offensive coordinator of Colleyville Heritage, which must be, I think they might be 5. But
see, you know Texas just as much as I know Florida. Obviously, I would love to get to see some of those matchups, man.
Who is D2? So what does D2 mean? D2, it must be like, Max Prep. Oh, my God. I mean, it looks like D2 is pretty good. It's Abilene. These teams are all good, too. I don't know how they break it out. I don't know what it must – Cedar Hills in D2. Say D2. I don't know how they maybe so they get more teams, and I'm not sure. They expanded it. Oh, I got a quick story for you that I can't believe we didn't talk about this. So it's going to go to a vote as to whether New Jersey will go all the way to the state finals in public school.
So one more game.
One more game.
Which is what it should be.
Yeah, which is what it should be.
Right now, because it used to be you go 12-0, you win a state title. Great, you're one of 32 or 33 teams that win it. We put this bowl game on last year where, you know, North 1, North 2, South, Central, those guys play, you win a bowl game. Now it's 13-0 to win it all. One more game, man. Make it one more game. North versus South, North versus Central, whatever that has to be. Make one group champ throughout the state. I'm all for it. 14 games. Let's go.
Absolutely. It's going to head that way. It's going to make our football so much more prestigious in
Absolutely.
the state of Texas. State of Texas. State of New Jersey.
Listen. However it works, bro. If you get a job in Texas, you get a job in Texas, I'm going. I get a job in Florida, you're coming. You got to talk to my wife. I'll talk to your wife. Some way we'll work it out where we can go and make this thing happen, and we can actually,
I ain't going nowhere. I'm Red Bank, baby.
When Red Bank shows us the dollars, I'm in.
Oh.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. All right, come on, dude.
That's a belly laugh.
I'm trying.
You gave me a good belly laugh. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean,
it's not about the money. I'll tell you right now. I really could, as much as I talk about it and get us fired up about it. Like I said, we're at a great spot right now. They support us in everything we do for the most part.
I love it.
It's a great spot, and I think we got something
hilarious.
We got something cooking that's good, man. I'm telling you, we got a good thing going. We really do. I think, people are starting to see what's going on over there, and they're becoming aware of it. And if they don't see it, they will soon, because it's just the way we work.
Absolutely. No, it's a ton of fun.
That's the most important thing. If we're not having fun, I'm not doing it.
Think about this real quick. If we got the beginning of the year where North versus South, like an opening matchup,
like a jamboree,
West, whatever you want to call it, those matchups in week 1, right, in New Jersey, bunch of those matchups, as many as we can get. Week 0,
if you did a Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
week 00, that should be the matchups, right? Week 00. It used to be 00. I don't know if it's 0 now or week 00, whatever it is.
Probably now, the last week in August.
Right. So the publics have their forum, right? Some of the privates, they'll go out of state. Okay. Now you have those.
That's fine. Let them go out of state.
but we have it like all the hype around it. Now you get that, plus you add a state championship that at the public school level that goes
Huge.
all the way to the end. Are you kidding me? Coupled with the Shore Conference having its following maybe the NJIC platform of 6
And having like a conference championship game.
Having a conference championship. Are you kidding me? That New Jersey football will go through the roof with those things. So anyway,
it would take an entire leap into a whole new era of excitement, just the way we do things. I think it's great for the kids. You get an extra game. It's great for the state. You get more familiarity, especially if you did that the first weekend. Now you're going to see teams that you're more familiar with that you may see, 14 weeks later in a state final.
Absolutely.
And now you have true state champions. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, Group 4, Group 5, and a parochial. 6 state champs rather than 30-something.
Excitement all year round.
It changes everything. And look, the thing was always we don't want to dip into winter sports. We don't want to do that. If you start that week earlier and continue you'll be fine.
Before COVID, we were authorized to do that this year, which we were doing to start that week earlier. All you would now end is 1 week later for the final state championships. Everybody wants it. The Shore Conference is going to put together eventually a Shore Conference championship. And, man, boom. Next thing you know, New Jersey, especially public school, but now you'll have that really cool dynamic. You have the people that want to play at private school, they have their dynamic already. Now the public school will have this elite level dynamic. Oh, man, it won't matter where you play. Exciting things will happen.
And ultimately, if you're worried about dipping into winter sports, look, for the most part, there's only 2 teams that are going to be playing 14 games for each group. You know what I mean? 2 times 5, that's 10 teams across the state that now you have to, within your school, you have to do something where for those 10 teams, they're not going to start winter sports until a week later. It's only 10 teams, man. We're talking 300-something football playing schools in New Jersey, going to make things happen. And look, if you're a school district and you're opposing this because you don't want to affect winter sports, tell me what a football ultimate state championship will do for your school going forward. Look, I've been in places, I'm telling you right now, when you have a good football season, the entire school year in general is different. The dynamics are different. The school itself, there's a buzz within the school.
Was it parochial A and B how they used to have it with the
private?
So
the way let's see.
Why did they get away from that?
Do parochial A and B instead of parochial 2, 3, and 4 having 16 brackets in a private to decide a state championship is ridiculous. That confuses me. What's ridiculous?
Well, I think he's saying there's too many teams and there's not enough. Like some of the teams don't have. Well, before they.
You're talking about quality.
Quality, right? So you only have a few quality teams in there. It's the same quality teams. Meaning, for example, Joe's would be in. I don't remember.
Joe's jumps back between 3 and 4. So if they're in the 4 with the big dogs, let them roll. Too many brackets. So you break it down. Okay, there's not enough teams, so what are we supposed to do about that? You get your group 1 and your group 2, where you got your Morris Catholics, your St. Mary's, whatever it is.
That would be parochial B.
And rather than having going and looking for consolation games, look, just throw them all in a bracket and play to the end. Who knows what could happen, right? They're small schools. They deserve to get more games. Allow them to play in, quote unquote, their state championship bracket. You have group 1, group 2, parochial, go bang it out and play. Group 3, you have your DePauls, your Modern Days, things of that.
3 and 4. So some of 3 should be playing with the 2, and some of the bigger 3 should be up with 4 and just have two groups is what he's saying.
So you're saying if you have like a Modern Day and a DePaul in a 3, they should move up into the big boy bracket and play with the 4s because ultimately that's who they've been banging around with all year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Go for it.
An example, like St. Joe's Hamilton, 35 times state champions, beating small, tiny schools. Agreed.
Right. So then they got to look. If you want to be a true
Hamilton, wouldn't they want to play? They just kill those small school.
Right. Wouldn't you want to move up to another level and compete with your competition level rather than just go in and blow through it and win another state championship? Absolutely.
Right.
I'm totally in agreement with that.
Absolutely. No doubt.
And then you let those smaller schools like
coach, man. My old line coach, he knows his stuff. Beckton Wildcats, NJIC champs, undefeated. I gave him $30 for the raffle to help get those guys some rings. Maybe I'll win the raffle. You'll never know. Okay. I think that about does it for the show today. Any final?
That's a good way to end, man. I'm pumped if that actually happens. And ultimately, now look, some people are going to throw in there, what are we going to do about Thanksgiving Day games and yada yada.
They already got thrown out Thanksgiving Day games this year.
Look, my opinion on Thanksgiving Day games is, and this is coming from someone who played on Thanksgiving Day every year of high school. It was a big rivalry. Look, I loved Thanksgiving Day.
It's fun.
It was great,
but the state championship, if you get to I guess it's a consolation prize if you don't get to the state championship. You play an exciting game, but
it was always difficult for me as a player to understand it because, at Butler High School, we played Caldwell on Thanksgiving every year. And in the 4 years, I guess, that I participated in the game, one of us was going to be playing the next weekend in a state final, or the game itself, the winner was getting a piece, or if not the conference championship. So the game mattered no matter what.
Right.
Now, my senior year, when we were in a state final, it was difficult because here you are, we came off a win on a Saturday against Glen Rock in the semifinals, had a quick turnaround to play Caldwell on Thursday for a conference title, right? And they had nothing to lose because they weren't playing the next week, but they knew that if they won this game and beat us, they were getting a share of the conference title. So that game was physical like it always was. We had a quick turnaround coming off a semifinal win that was physical, and we had to go out and dial it up. Ultimately, we won the game, but then we have now to play the following Saturday in a state final. And that's difficult to do, to ask a team. But, you can look at it like this. Like, if you want to be a state champ, sometimes you just got to go and dial it up and play what's on your schedule and go. So I can see where coaches are on both sides of it. Ultimately, for me, I would like to do away with it. I love tradition. I love all of that stuff. But at the same time, I would love to see my guys win a state title over winning a rivalry Thanksgiving Day game.
Both good arguments. Makes a lot of sense.
And same thing for you. You played a Thanksgiving Day game. You know the emotion that goes into it. Turkey tastes a lot better after a win.
It tastes a lot better after a win. It tastes a lot better if you're going into the state championship.
And that was a very, I love Thanksgiving Day game because as a guy coming from a traditional program in Butler, every Thanksgiving Day game was an opportunity where a lot of alumni came out to watch the Butler football team of that year. And everybody, no matter what it was, gauged that game and how you played against their team. And you either earned the respect of the alumni or it was like, they're not as good as we were. I just love that. I thought it was awesome. What's that?
What high school again?
Butler High School, baby. Blue and gold for life.
The Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. 4-peat state championship. Just won another one in 2018. I can't say enough about it. I love the program. I love
40 years you guys won state championship.
94, 95, 96, 97.
And then 2018?
And then 2018.
94, 95, 96, and 97?
Absolutely. Right through. Bam.
How many of those were Dave Conklin's team?
One undefeated, and that was 94.
Wow. Was 2018 the kid that we worked with?
Evan Smith.
Evan Smith. Was he a senior?
Gatorade. He was a senior. He was a 4-year starter, and Gatorade Player of the Year.
Where does Evan Smith play now?
TCNJ.
And what position is he playing?
Quarterback. Although in those playoff games, my man was playing defense too. Group 1 football, baby. Also, tidbit, Butler High School, only Morris County team with grass.
Is it really? Well, wow, no one else has grass?
Kinnelon just approved a big thing to get turf on their field, which is huge for them. I know they've been fighting that for over 20 years. So good for that program. The Kinnelon Colts getting turf on their field, leaving Butler as the only Morris County school with grass. I'm telling you, once I make it big, that's a big donation. You don't have to name the field after me or anything, but those guys need turf.
And what can you donate right now, do you think? Just your time?
$5. Maybe $5, $10, something like that.
Or your time? Give them a little time. All right, man. We went down Butler Bulldogs. Next thing you know, we'll be talking your time as a teacher at
Saddlebrook. What?
Do you know Saddlebrook has a pretty good tradition of football? I won't say elite, but pretty good.
What are they? Saddlebrook what?
Falcons. Now they
Ugh.
I know. You know, when I growing up, it was the only thing I wanted to be was a Falcon. But
Well, that's good. You drank the Kool-Aid.
I did. I drank the Kool-Aid. All I want to do is wear blue. Man, listen.
And ultimately, look, Saddlebrook is the same colors as Butler. They're blue and gold, just different shades of blue and gold.
People won't even people. I don't think kids do this anymore. I don't know, because obviously I'm coaching during a game, so I really don't pay attention much to that part. But my favorite thing growing up when I was a kid was at halftime of the game, the high school game. This is when I was, I don't know, 9, 10, 11, they on the side of there's a grassy area like where they would have they used to do like the pole vault, but it wasn't there during football season. And we would play like football. We'd play
backyard, run around and hit the guy with the ball.
Yeah, it was great. I used to love it. I used to look forward to that was my favorite thing. I used to love going to the games because my friends would come come and grab me hey, we're going over here right now. Like we're gonna play it. We're gonna play at halftime, and you basically be playing full tackle game at halftime, and those guys were I'm not saying they were your heroes.
No, they were your idols, though. That's why
you wear the uniform. You wanted to wear the uniform.
Listen. If you look at those teams that I grew up watching, winning state titles, 94, 95, 96, 90s, I could tell you the numbers of every player that was relevant in a game or every player that I thought was awesome. And as a kid, I would wear that number because that was the guy I looked up to. I mean, I watched NFL football, I watched college football, but I didn't really get into that until I was older. Those guys that performed in high school is what I grew up going to see and what I was watching. So they were the ones that I wanted to be like. And fortunately for me, I saw a lot of success and modeled my game a lot after these guys that were successful, at that high school level. That's how I think that's where my competitiveness and my desire to win came from. I watched these teams constantly win state titles. That was the bar that was set. That's where it's at. So when I see mediocre programs, when I see guys okay with losing and things like that, that pisses me off, man.
No doubt. Well, on that note, another great show. 7.
What am I gonna do? Do I take your Cowboys? I don't know.
I thought you just said you weren't.
I don't know. I'm disheveled.
9 points. I mean,
that's a lot.
You got to take the Cowboys. The only thing is Cowboys have played
I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson is pissed.
They play no defense, the Cowboys.
I know. I think Lamar Jackson's pissed off and he's going to run all over.
One problem with the Cowboys is they played 0D, and that's going to be
And here's a great underlying story. Dez Bryant activated receiver for the Ravens.
Who?
Dez Bryant.
Dez Bryant, who played for the Cowboys?
Yep. He was out of the league for 2 years, and the Ravens signed him, and he has now worked his way up from practice squad player to on the roster. He will see time tonight.
Did he play against the Steelers the other day?
He was activated. I don't know if he got any targets or playing time, but listen, I don't know. Maybe that's one of my prop bets. Dez Bryant catching a pass. God, I would love to see him score a touchdown against Dallas.
Oh, my goodness.
Dez Bryant, what college?
Dez Bryant. Oh, Oklahoma State. Come on now.
Nice. Okay, good.
I mean, quiz stuff is hard to get me. I'm pretty good. I have a lot of useless information.
That's what if you had to ask me what do you think you know the best, I think that my strong point is if you talk about an NFL player, I could probably tell you where he went to college.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that. You know,
I think I'm good at that.
I'm also reading a really interesting book right now. Dodge City. You know, get out of Dodge.
Yeah, Dodge City as in like Westerns.
Yeah, it's about how they Wyatt Earp.
I love that. Wyatt Earp's the man. Tombstone.
Yes, but it's about how they got control of Dodge City, and they were young. You know, Dodge City. Well, as you would expect, Dodge City was lawless, basically.
Yeah, Wild West, man.
It was like the gateway. It's in Kansas, I believe, and it was like the gateway to the western frontier, like in the 1800s, the new western frontier.
When everybody was moving west, trying to get land, it was the entrance point. Like you go through Dodge City and you're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your way. Yeah, you're going to the desert from there out, and then to California. So it's
good luck. Hope you hit gold.
Dude, could you one of the things that I do have to say about, and we make a lot about like how obviously the pandemic's serious. There's all these things that are going on. There's a whole bunch of conspiracy things going on around everything. And some of which may be true, some of them maybe not. But when you think about what it was like in the 1800s, when, I'm sure the East Coast maybe, and I'm not talking about during wartime, but before or after wars, maybe the East Coast was fairly, like the Northeast where we live now might have been fairly civilized. Maybe the rest of the country was not, man. Like you're on your own, like
doing your own thing. Good luck. I hope it works. And if
like people
happens, we never hear from you again, we'll just assume that you're dead.
People died of so many different things. I mean, it wasn't just like, it's so interesting about history is what you had to go through to get to where we are today. Like we're so I don't know, soft, I guess, compared to what they were back then.
Right.
But
I don't think
I mean, think about
understand that.
No, I don't think people do. And I think, first of all, the people who suffered, we had all kinds of things going on in the mid 1800s. You had slavery in the South. You had people pushing the frontier out west. You had genocide of the American Indians, partially through.
I mean, that was brutal. Treatment of the American Indians, absolutely brutal.
Part of it was actions taken against them, but the other part of it was actually diseases their bodies were unfamiliar with. Probably
right, because now you're getting introduced to the white man and all stuff you've never seen.
Probably may have killed more of them than the actual. And then the other thing that people don't realize was the different relationships that different groups had with each other. So the American Indian nations, some of them battled with each other, specific tribes, because they were fighting over their own territory, while the Europeans were pushing forward into their. It was just, I guess that's why they call it the Wild West. But there was so many things going on, and when people say that times are hard, like times were hard back then for a lot of different people. And so not just the things that were done by the government and individuals to maybe the American Indians, but even the settlers who had nothing to do with that, the frontiersmen, they just trying to survive, and the rivalries that may go on between them and the American Indians. And it's just amazing. And then how different groups, got along and didn't get along, and the things that got accomplished. It's it's so complex. And there's so many different things going on, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And it's amazing to read about it, because when you're reading about it, like, to think about now living in like a town like Dodge City, where it was a small, like, gateway town, basically ghost town, and basically it got to a point where murders were starting to happen, like, regularly. Just shootouts happen regularly, like,
and right out in the open.
Right out in the open, like,
here it is,
like, and gambling and oh yeah, you name it. But it's so interesting, because how people then got from there to what you get accomplished in think of people building towns from scratch. Like, now you hire a contractor to build your house. Like, people are building these things with their bare hands themselves. They weren't hiring people to do it, No,
you have to do it yourself. And if you didn't know, you had to figure it out or you're dead.
Right. And if you didn't know the trails you were going, like, there wasn't roads, there were trails, and you're going down a trail and you don't know who lives in that area. Like, land plots weren't controlled the same way, and all that kind of stuff. The way
you had to defend your property.
Yeah. You could also, if you were a commissioned officer from the Army, a lot of them got, like, these land plots as
as a ticket. Like, hey, if you do this, we'll give you this.
If you were a commissioned officer, you got that. It was pretty interesting. So that's how some of them built their livelihoods from, like, the mid 1800s, early 1800s, and basically generations benefited after it. Really interesting. Dan Farina, indoor plumbing was dragging your butt on a dirt floor. Yeah, I mean,
it's basically what it was. It's what it came down to. It's not like you had hot showers or anything like that, or even the ability to get water. That's why, if you look at geographically, most major cities are somewhere near a river or a water source, man. I mean, this is all stuff we can talk about historically going back. That era of, obviously you look at the Northeast and, the East Coast, that's what was developed first, because that's where, the English and all these settlers came and started things. But as they realized, Lewis and Clark took that trip west and said, there's a lot of shit out here. Like, all right, let's start moving west, because if we don't like what's going on over here, we can go do something out here. Even look at it today, man. I mean, could you imagine how much land is still available in the West?
There's a ton of land still available, although a lot of it's desert, though, too. If you go to Colorado, there's a ton of land.
It's not, but and some of that land is obviously not settlable. You know what I mean? Like, it's not conducive to making something unless you have some extra help. Look at a place like Las Vegas.
I belong to a website that you get, of course I am.
You pay for ads or no?
No, I belong to it, meaning I'm a member, where I get emails weekly on different plots of land that are available that are very inexpensive.
You ain't going anywhere. What are you doing?
I just want to own land in the West. So listen, I
learned something new. I learned something new about you every day.
Yeah. Can you imagine poor Nicole? She's got to listen to all this stuff. I say, hey,
listen. I tell Jen all the time, like, look, I'll go to Vermont and move to my uncle's farm where he's got 301 acres of nothing. I mean, it's fields. I mean, I'm not saying nothing, but I'm saying it's fields, it's forests, it's ponds, it's Vermont.
Pond be good for you.
He's got 3 ponds and 2 rivers running through his property, man.
Do you know what movie this is from?
Golden Pond?
Pool in the Pond. Pond would be good for you. You know what that's from?
What is it?
He comes up to me. He goes, hey, he's like, what do you got over there? You got a pool or a pond? He's like, yeah, I got a pool and a pond. He's like, a pond would be good for you.
No idea.
Come on! Oh!
Nope.
Caddyshack?
Not one of my favorites.
You don't like Caddyshack?
Nope.
You don't think it's funny?
No.
How can you not think Caddyshack's funny?
I could put 10 movies ahead of that easily.
10 comedies ahead of it?
100%. Absolutely.
Name me one of your 10.
Christmas Vacation.
No! Good movie.
100%. 100% way funnier than Caddyshack. 100%. Look, if you even wanted to go in that era, I could think of movies that I think
era. Right.
way funnier.
Give me another one.
You're going to make me think that.
First of all, Christmas Vacation is okay, but the original Vacation is fantastic.
Absolutely. Wally World?
Yes. I would put
Wally World, the Family Truckster. I just threw that out there because it's a seasonal, like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's funny.
Oh, okay. All right, give me another one. Come on. Ahead of Caddyshack. I got to hear this.
Why don't you give me a list of what you think and I'll rank them?
Okay, I'll give you some that I would say are in the ballpark of that. Wedding Crashers.
Hilarious.
Okay, same kind of humor.
I guess. Style. I think Vince Vaughn.
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
I'm not an Adam Sandler fan.
I'm not really a huge Adam Sandler guy. I happen to like that one.
I would put Big Daddy or
Big Daddy pretty funny.
I would put that ahead of Happy Gilmore.
Big Daddy. Mainly
because of the roles that certain people play in that.
All right. How about roles that certain people play? Oh, okay.
Like the idea that Adam Sandler's movies usually have certain people in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think those people make his movies.
I like the one. Yes, I like the one where he. What's it called? Where
Mr. Deeds?
Mr. Deeds, great one. That's what I'm thinking. I liked it.
Listen, I will put Chris Farley's and David Spade's Tommy Boy and Black Sheep in the top 5.
Black Sheep was good. Yeah, he goes.
I'll give you
a great line from was it Tommy Boy? The policeman pulls him over and he goes.
No, it's Black Sheep.
Is that Black Sheep?
When the nitrous oxide is leaking through the car.
I'm sorry.
ROADs.
He's like, when I pull people over,
they pull to the side of the road.
You know how fast you were going? He's like
7 miles an hour.
7 miles an hour. And when I usually pull people over,
they pull to the side of the road, and he's in the middle of the median. I would definitely put those two on it. Like I think
Old School from Will Ferrell. That's a great one.
That's okay. I like that. I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan, but I do think I would take Vince Vaughn over Will Ferrell.
I'm trying to think of another comedy. I don't know. I mean, Caddyshack's up there. Best comedies of all time. I mean,
not on this guy's list.
Not on yours. Let's see what the experts say. I will tell you, I think the hardest I've ever laughed at a movie or a movie scene is the scene in Black Sheep when he's standing at the top of the hill holding the voting ballot and he says, every vote counts. And then he busts his ass down that entire hill, rolling and whatever. And when he gets to the bottom and stands up and says, what up, Troy? When he says, what in the hell was that all about? I've never laughed so hard, I don't think, in my life. That's funny. Yeah, that
Listen, this is you're also talking to a guy who is not a fan of the movie Rudy.
Okay, I'd love to explore that on an episode. How about, all right, do you like this? Did you think this movie was funny? The 40-year-old
Rudy quit, bro. Rudy quit. He didn't even deserve to be on the freaking team.
Well, he just said quit. He didn't say anything bad.
No, he's calling a bad word because it's a friggin'.
It's a friggin'.
You're right, Troy. I'm bad. I know.
The 40-year-old virgin? Did you like that movie?
I'm not. What is that? Steve Carell?
Steve Carell.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him either. I don't think he's very funny. Now, you're talking. If you want to talk like Kevin Hart, I would.
How about the movie Will Ferrell, Kevin Hart? Get Hard. You think that was funny?
Oh, is that the one where he goes to prison?
Yes.
I'd have to rewatch that. I think Kevin Hart's hilarious, though.
Kevin Hart is very funny. All right. I'll give you. How about some Eddie Murphy movies? How about Trading Places? Did you ever see that?
I'm more of a Coming to America guy.
Coming to America was great. Absolutely.
I would argue that even though it's the third one, Beverly Hills Cop 3, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
I don't remember it, but that was I liked all the Beverly Hills Cops. They were pretty good.
I think he was funny as hell in that. I think it's the one. It's like the third one, so it's not really looked at. Whatever. It's where he goes out to LA, I believe, and it's like an amusement park, and that's the whole basis for it. Like they're running counterfeit money through an amusement park. That's the plot of it. But I don't know. In that movie, he's just funny. Some of his one-liners or things he comes out with, hilarious. We could do a whole show on. How about did you think The Hangover was funny? Yes, I did like that because I like Bradley Cooper.
No.
Wedding Crashers.
We
already discussed it, Nicole. I got it. Wedding Crashers.
You're late to the party. You're late to the party.
I like and hey, isn't Bradley Cooper in Wedding Crashers?
White.
He's the brother.
I never saw that. No.
What is it?
What, of White Chicks? I don't even know what that is.
That's got to be a girl comedy.
Yeah, that has to be.
Bridesmaids. I thought was funny as hell.
I agree with you. Bridesmaids is very funny. I thought that was actually hilarious. I was surprised that I didn't think I would like it, but because I'm not usually that into female-based comedies.
I will come out and say that African American comedies are hilarious.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I find them way funnier than anybody else. And I'm talking old school stuff. Like I'll watch
Friday. How about Friday?
I'll watch Richard Pryor all day.
Did you like Friday?
Hilarious.
Well, Richard Pryor, the best movie ever was Richard Pryor and Gene.
Yes, the guy who played Willy Wonka.
Yes, Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder.
Yeah, it's not Gene Hackman.
It
We're not
was.
watching Hoosiers here.
Wait, was it Stir Crazy? No, not Stir Crazy.
I liked Richard Pryor in the movie The Toy.
He was. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really like that.
I just liked it because
think it was Stir Crazy.
it's something we watched growing up, so it holds a spot in my heart.
I'm trying to think. I thought it was Stir Crazy, where he's the baseball player. Where Richard Pryor's the baseball player. He plays for the Hackensack.
I'll have to see it.
I think it's Stir. He plays for the Hackett. It's a minor league team, and then they get some scheme together. Him and
I do like a lot of baseball movies.
Like The Natural.
Bull Durham.
What Bull Durham? Bull Durham's a great movie. Great movie.
For the love of the game.
Who's in that?
Kevin Costner. He's the pitcher for Detroit. It goes through his entire lifespan of his career
that's a good movie.
While he's pitching a perfect what's the look? I will watch I'll watch A League of Their Own with Tom Hanks every time it's on.
Great movie. I liked it a lot when it was out. I don't know if
a lot of people don't. I like the movie. What is
Field
it?
of Dreams. Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. I love Field of Dreams. I'll watch that all day. What is it? I think it's 61 about the race between Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle.
Good movie.
Love that movie.
Great movie.
I mean, look, we even talked yesterday.
Did you see the movie on Hank Greenberg? Did you see that one?
Which one?
On Hank Greenberg, the guy who was
nope.
He was a Jewish baseball player who was for the Detroit Tigers. He's on pace.
I know he took a lot of heat. I know the story. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, 50. I think he ended up with 50. What did he get? How many did Hank? But I guess he got everything he dealt with.
Look, we could talk sports. I mean, look, we could go on and on about this stuff. I mean, like, I just, if I look at it and it just kind of like you just realize it. Like, I like a lot of baseball movies. I don't like baseball per se, but I don't like playing it. I do like to watch it sometimes, but I think the history of baseball is phenomenal.
He hit 58 home runs, Hank Greenberg.
So I love that. How about the movie 8 Men Out? About the Black Sox scandal. About the White Sox scandal. Love that. Black Sox. That's what you called them. No. Shoeless Joe Jackson, all that stuff. What's the other one? The Natural. Love that movie too.
Yeah, The Natural's a good movie. Well, I mean, this movie's a comedy. How about Major League?
Love it. Absolutely love it. Major League, all of them. I think they're some of the funny. I would put them in my top 10.
That's funny. Those are funny.
Those movies are hilarious. And but look, you got to look at it. And like I said, it's the people that it's not the main characters that make it funny. Like the funniest person in all the major leagues is the announcer.
I think Caddyshack is brilliant because it makes fun of the stereotype of basically the rich white person who has a membership at a club, and it totally makes fun of it, and this is the 70s too, so it definitely was like
a different dynamic.
Totally different dynamic, ahead of its time.
Now, Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, Dazed and Confused, great movie. Yeah, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
A lot of movies, but here's the other thing. I'm a Matthew McConaughey fan, so a lot of the things that he's in, I think, are phenomenal.
Dazed and Confused. There's so much stuff. And hey, we're on a podcast here.
This is our longest. Look, we got into movies, and now we've put a whole nother 30 minutes on the segment based on movies.
Yeah, Fast Times. I love when the football player who was he was young at the time. He's now a famous director. Forrest Whitaker plays the football player Roosevelt, right? Wasn't that his name, Roosevelt?
Here's the other movie I'll tell you, and you may not have seen it. Summer School.
Oh, great movie!
Like
Great
those
movie.
are those are things that those movies make me laugh.
Great.
Like those movies I'll laugh at. Like those movies are funny.
So Summer School is so stupid, but so funny.
Mr. Shoop.
Mr. Shoop. Yep, Mr. Shoop. Oh, that was great. I love when they did they scared the substitute with.
She's like, I'm not from high school.
I was like, that is, it's funny because high school is obviously different now.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's how high school really kind of was. Like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I mean, like it wasn't like to that point, but that was
you're talking about the element of what students were like and the dynamic of
like
these
that.
are teachers, these are students, this is how it is. Those lines are kind of blended now with everything, There's not really that strict role of what everybody is. Not everybody, now people don't hate their principal because principals want to be friends rather than be principals. It's just a different dynamic. I think I just think it's hilarious. Like, in summer school where you have the phys ed teacher who's literally in the beginning of the movie counting down the seconds and minutes until summer happens, just as excited as the students. And then all of a sudden, bam, he gets thrown into teaching English to a bunch of summer school kids, which is it's just hilarious.
Beyond all belief. So
Christy Alley's in that, brother.
Kirstie Alley.
Skinny Kirstie Alley.
And the girl who's like the surfer girl is the girl from Melrose Place. Ends up being on. I can't think of her name, but she's
the surfer chick that falls in love and wants to live with him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. She falls in love. That's right.
Yeah. Like I think those movies are fun. I also think the police academies are all funny.
They were great. I barely remember them, but they were hilarious.
Like I was saying, I would put a lot of those before Caddyshack, man.
That's right. Well, I don't know. I still think Caddyshack's ahead of them.
I mean, look, Chevy Chase has done
Chevy Chase and Rodney Dangerfield alone in that movie, combined with Ted Knight.
And look, I like Rodney Dangerfield, but I like him in like the movie Ladybugs.
He's funny in Ladybugs.
But I think Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd in Spies Like Us.
That was good. How about the great? Yes, that was pretty good. The first part was very funny. Second, the best.
Oh, your boy Chris Latrella says Airplane.
Airplane is great. Absolutely.
See, I don't like that. Who's that guy in Airplane? And then he's in the Naked Guns. Not a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge on him, but Leslie Nielsen.
Yes.
Leslie Nielsen? No.
I don't know. I don't know. Is that the guy from The Taken or Taken?
I can't remember his name. No, but you know who was what's the movie where Rodney Dangerfield is it's about diving. Oh yeah, it is Nielsen. He's a diver.
What's that movie where he goes back to school?
He goes back to school. That was it. Back to school. That's hilarious. That movie. That might be up there with Caddyshack. That was hilarious.
I don't know.
I love Back to School.
I don't know.
I think we just did 25 minutes on comedies.
Well, let's end. How about let's end with this. What is your number one football movie? It's tough. I get it. I mean, you have a pretty good Rolodex.
I might need a second to pull that up. Best football movies.
I can spin. You got Friday Night Lights, right?
Friday Night Lights is really good, but I don't think that's my favorite.
It's definitely not. I like the series better.
Yeah, the series was better.
I gotta see the series. Oh, Breakfast Club. That's a good one.
Breakfast Club is great. Is that from Chris?
Of course it is.
Yeah, Breakfast Club, phenomenal. I mean, that's how school was, man. That's how
that dude that's watching over them is so. Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
great one. I like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's a funny one.
I do too. But if we're talking football movies, I mean, obviously a lot of people put Rudy's up there. Friday Night Lights, I'm sure, is in that. I'm a huge Varsity Blues
How about
fan.
The Blind Side?
I like The Blind Side. I mean, more so I think for Sandra Bullock than anything.
Waterboy?
Not a fan of The Waterboy.
I like The Waterboy. I thought it was silly, but
I'm telling you, I do love Varsity
We Are
Blues.
Marshall?
Like We Are Marshall, Matthew McConaughey. And the fact that it has like some history and some like juice to it with a real story behind it, I like that a little bit more.
The Express, the Ernie Davis story, I saw that. That was good.
I like that, and that one hits really close to home because you know my story of losing my cousin to leukemia, so that hits close to home. That was tough for me to watch.
Yeah, and I love the scene with Jim Brown. Jim Brown kind of talks to him.
Phenomenal. Chris says longest yard. Chris, are we talking Adam Sandler longest yard, or are we talking
the original?
Original.
Or North Dallas 40. Did you ever see North Dallas 40?
I'll throw a movie out here since this guy's in it. Smokey and the Bandit.
Is that a football movie?
No, but it's phenomenal.
Is that Clint Eastwood? Is that
No, Bruce Reynolds, right? Isn't that his name?
Oh, Bruce Reynolds. Yeah.
Where
Right.
he's
Yeah,
driving the freaking, oh my God, dude. He's in like a whatever Firebird fast car.
All right, I'm
Another dude's in an 18-wheeler, and he's basically speeding from state to state to pick up beer.
I'm going to reel off some. Tell me if you've seen them, and tell me what you think. Quickly what you think. Okay, did you see the movie Greater?
Yes, phenomenal movie.
Phenomenal. About the Arkansas lineman.
So underrated. I don't think many people have actually seen it. I believe it's on Netflix. Go see it. It's phenomenal. True story, by the way, which is another, like, when that stuff is true stories and there's actually, like I say, some juice to it, I dive in a little bit more.
How about Woodlawn? Did you see that? You know who that's about, right? Well, Woodlawn's the place, but the star running back in Woodlawn is Nathan, who ends up being the running back for the Dolphins in the 70s. Who I think he goes to Alabama. I want to say it's about. I want to say now I'm blanking a little bit. I thought it was about like immigration in the South, and the star is, I'm pretty sure. You remember Dan Marino had the guy who was this running back. He catch 1 million passes. He's a good runner too. I think it was Nathan was the last name, but he's the star running back in it. But I guess you haven't seen it. You should see it. It's a great movie. I'd like to see it again. I forgot exactly everything about it. Draft Day. Did you see that?
Love that movie. Another Kevin Costner movie. Kevin Costner does sports movies great.
I never saw this one. All Things Fall Apart.
Never saw it.
No. 23 Blast. Never seen that.
Nope.
My All American.
Never. My All American. Great movie. I believe it's about LSU running back. They called him the Ghost.
No, that's Everybody's All American.
Oh, I'll take that movie. I'll take that movie all day.
That was with what's his name?
What's his name?
Dennis Quaid.
He's also in another sports movie.
Dennis Quaid.
He's in another sports movie.
That was Everybody's All American. That is a great movie. And
isn't John Goodman in that?
A lot of people went through that as players back. I believe back then, a lot of players go through that period. But you're
talking about like the issues he had outside of football.
Once he was not a pro, like he wasn't great in the pros, right? And then his career ends, and then they try to.
No longer Everybody's All American.
He can never get over not being the star anymore.
Right. And then he screws up, and
I think anybody who watches that can relate to it. If you were maybe any athlete, but definitely football, if you were a star.
I believe John Goodman's in it.
He probably is. You're probably right. The Blind Side.
I think he's one of his like star linemen.
Did you like The Blind Side? Everyone likes.
I did like The Blind Side. I did absolutely. I think it's a great story. I just love the fact. I love the fact that it's a true story. Sandra Bullock only adds to it, and I love the fact that Tim McGraw's in it.
Yeah. Yep. How about
Tim McGraw is in that and Friday Night Lights?
That's true, right? He's the father.
Before he got all skinny and ripped.
Did you The Replacements? Did you like that with Keanu?
I actually did, and I thought that was kind of funny.
I thought it was okay. I didn't love
I
it.
would put it ahead of The Waterboy.
Kind of in the same realm, I guess.
I just favorite thing in that movie is the kicker.
How about Wildcats? Great movie.
I did like that because I like Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. Wesley Snipes is the quarterback.
And
Harrelson is the running back.
Here's another one that I really like. What is it? Oh my goodness. Tom Cruise is in it. The head coach is the guy from the show Coach. All the Right Moves.
Oh, All the Right Moves is All the Right Moves. Oh, it's definitely top 2 or 3. All the Right Moves is so good, so captures that time period. See, it is a harder movie to relate to now.
Thanks, Daniel Farina. He drilled it. All the Right Moves. Thanks, buddy.
All the Right Moves is Tom Cruise, man. Tom, in a steel town, I think it's Aliquippa or something around Aliquippa, and
Pennsylvania football.
And the coach goes to college in the end, and he offers him a scholarship. Remember that?
What college did he go to?
What college did he go to?
And ultimately came and gave him an offer.
It was Division I. It had to be small.
West Coast.
West Coast. Is it a small? Is it a Division I school?
Smaller.
FCS. Cal Poly.
Yes, good job.
Yeah, baby, I got it. He was like, yeah.
That's a great movie. Great movie.
Great movie. How about let's see. Oh, this is a classic. You probably didn't see it, is my guess. Do you ever see The Best of Times?
Are you serious? With Robin Williams and Kurt Russell? That movie is phenomenal, dude.
Phenomenal.
Robin Williams drops the pass. He can't get over it. They play the game again. He basically gets his ass kicked for 4 quarters and then catches the game-winning pass. I just ruined the movie for anybody who hasn't seen it, but it's an absolutely phenomenal movie. I'm with Dan Farina. I really have an.
I love Varsity Blues.
It is so tough for me to not make Varsity Blues my number 1.
They come out of the club that people dance at, and then they go play in a game.
I think I modeled somewhat of my receiving game after Tweeter.
Tweeter, when he steals the police car, not advocating that, just funny.
I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go to jail.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Remember the Titans? Obviously a classic. Definitely top 5. Also, Friday nights. Did you see this one?
Where in California was that movie based?
Dan Farina, I love he's got some great stuff going in there. 100% about Tweeter. What California? Who was based?
Where were they?
Who? Well, I missed what you said.
The movie with Kurt Russell, Robin Williams, All the Right Times.
Best of Time. Best of Times.
What is it? It's All the Right Times.
No, Best of Times.
Oh, the Best of Times. Where was it based?
You're saying it because you know it. Is it Los Angeles?
It's actually slipping my mind at the moment, but I think it's a great question. It's obviously it's California.
Los Angeles? I don't know.
No, it's somewhere else. Now you're gonna make me. Now I'm gonna fact check.
Ooh, Unnecessary Roughness. The Fighting Armadillo.
I love Unnecessary. Oh God,
that's what we.
I love Unnecessary Roughness.
That's a great movie.
Look, fucking. It's absolutely.
Who was like the track star who couldn't catch?
Stonehands?
Yeah. What was his name?
How about name quarterback?
Who was the quarterback in that? Oh, he was kind of like a B actor.
The old ass dude.
Right.
that he pulls off the farm to come play.
Yes, yeah. That he was in a lot of movies, but he's like kind of like
I
a BS.
just want to know what's his. Give me his name in the movie.
I don't know. What was it?
Paul Blake.
Paul. Ah! Okay, I'm going to give you one that you haven't.
Sinbad was in that movie.
Oh yes, Sinbad was right. Oh my God, that was a great one. That was a great movie. Have you seen the movie where The Rock is the
Oh, that's Gridiron Gang?
Gridiron Gang? There you go.
That's a great movie because I love it. I love that it's, like it's based off a true story.
The Program. I mean, come on, that's a classic.
Oh, dude. For me, the program is a top 3.
Latimer. I mean,
Darnell
Jefferson.
So much actually goes into that movie that actually happens behind the scenes that at Division I programs that nobody knows about. And I think that really brought a lot of stuff like to the forefront. You're talking a lot of stuff in there. You're talking alcoholism. You're talking steroid use. You're talking
I'll give you one. Maybe
grade shaving and all that kind of stuff.
Maybe you didn't see this one. I saw it, but I'm betting you didn't see it. It's about Wake Forest. Wake Forest football program. Oh, now I can't believe it's slipping my mind exactly what went down there. Jim Grobe was the head coach. It's called The Fifth Quarter. Did you see that one?
No.
Pretty good. Not elite, but pretty good. All right, I'm gonna give you one that you definitely saw. Definitely a top, definitely top 10. Radio.
Not a fan.
You didn't like Radio about T.L. Hanna High School?
Nope. I'll take a Remember the Titans over that.
How about The Invincible? Did you like Invincible?
I loved that. How could I not?
Yeah, that's probably what it was you running around.
Like that. I mean, look, he had a lot bigger arms than I did, but
Any Given Sunday?
I'll take that in the top 5.
That's in the top 5? Okay.
Come on, dude. LT is in the movie as a linebacker, bro.
Ooh, I'll give you a good one. It's kind of a football movie, kind of not. The Last Boy Scout.
Never heard of it.
It's with Damon Wayans. He's the star football player. There's this whole like FBI thing. You didn't see it. The Little Giants.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, who was the big lineman in the Little Giant who played for the Cowboys that they were worried about? I can't remember who it was.
Spike.
Bad News Bears is baseball, but we were talking baseball earlier. We missed that one.
Hey, listen, to piggyback off that, we're talking comedies, Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. Hilarious.
I don't know. Not for me.
I like those two dudes. I think they're funny as hell. If we want to go basketball.
Oh, I'll give you a kind of football. It's around football, okay? But it's not about football, but it's around football. Silver Linings Playbook.
I do like that because I like what's his name?
What is his name?
It's what is it? Cooper,
Bradley right?
Cooper.
And then the girl. I can't believe I'm forgetting these people's names. But the girl, she's a megastar. She's from the Hunger Games now. Oh God, I can't think of her name. Someone will know it.
So the best of times, we're talking.
Okay. 2 quick comments. Our two best coming to my. Yes, we love that comedy. We mentioned it earlier. And
Coming to America, absolutely. Icebox, your favorite character?
Icebox is the Dallas Cowboy guy.
Yeah.
Icebox
is the female daughter that he wouldn't put on the team because she's a girl. She gets pissed off and then she becomes a cheerleader. And then at halftime, she loses her shit and dials it up and kills it in Little Giants. Come on, man.
And we said We Are Marshall.
I like We Are Marshall.
I'm trying to think if we missed that. Oh, wow. I'm trying to see if there's any other one that we missed. I said North Dallas 40, but most people, you haven't seen North Dallas 40. That's maybe even too old. You know, a lot of people don't list everybody's All-American. Oh, I'm going to give you one. Jerry Maguire.
Phenomenal movie.
Jerry Maguire, great movie.
I like what's his name? I like to look. I'm a Tom Cruise fan just from Top Gun all day, every day. Top Gun's probably the top 5 movie in all my movies together. But yeah, I think Jerry Maguire is a phenomenal movie. Oh yeah, oh dude, Daniel Farina coming out with it, 100% Brian's song.
Brian's song, unbelievable.
Absolutely. Great story. The book is great. Gail Sayers, Brian Piccolo. I cry every time, no doubt.
I cried, definitely cried.
100%. Absolutely. Cry every freaking time.
We mentioned Old School Dan, and Derek did not like it as much as I did. I love it, but he did not like it. Have you ever seen this is a pretty good movie, actually. Did you see The Game Stands Tall? It's about
is that De La Salle?
De La Salle.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I thought that was very good.
I like that movie as well. I really do.
It was a little B style in the sense that like it wasn't shot like you know what I'm saying. Like it wasn't.
No. It's just kind of like a movie. Let's just get the story out and roll it out. There are some pretty good basketball movies. I love my number one basketball movie.
Oh, we're going basketball movies. Oh, come on. There's only one. There's only one. There's other basketball movies, but there's one basketball movie that is far above everyone else.
Throw Hoosiers out the window. Blue Chips all day.
Blue Chips is great. No doubt about it. Nick Nolte as the coach.
Nick Nolte is
Shaq. Penny Hardaway.
It's just hilarious, dude. Like I just think that movie is.
Oh,
it's just funny, like Neon Bordeaux.
Oh, Shaq, Penny Hardaway, Nick Nolte. Who else was in that? There was someone else that was
the guy who plays. He plays this kind of role all the time. Is the guy who is the alumni guy that basically pays all the money and does all the work. Like he always is that guy in these movies. He's like the same type of guy in the movie Backdraft. You ever see Backdraft?
Yeah, I did. But I don't remember Backdraft that well for some reason.
Well, this is the guy. He's like the mayor. He's always like he always plays like a shady.
Oh, like the guy who plays. I always think of like the typical bad guy is. We talked about it one time. We were talking about movies with Patrick Swayze when a Roadhouse. You know the bad guy who plays that bad guy in that movie.
Yeah, he's always that guy.
He is like a typical bad guy. He's like a bad guy in every movie. He like runs the town.
I'll take Roadhouse over a lot of movies.
Roadhouse. I don't think Roadhouse got like great ratings per se, but
there is one ultimate movie that you watch every single time it's on, and for me, that is The Shawshank Redemption.
Great movie.
Little long, but
yeah, I used to watch it all the time. I used to be almost obsessed with it, but then I've seen it so many times. It's almost like I don't know. I've seen it so many times.
Just like that, I'll watch.
There's no
American Gangster.
American Gangster
with Denzel and
yeah, that's
yeah. I mean,
it's a great movie. I was thinking of yeah. I mean, now we're going into just movies in general, but we'll go back to basketball here because basketball.
The Sixth Man was big.
Well, okay. The basketball movies that immediately come to my head. You named one of them.
Hoosiers.
Blue Chips. He Got Game with Ray Allen.
I will fight for He Got Game to be in the top 5 too.
And Denzel. That's a great movie. Underrated, I would almost say.
Ray Allen is phenomenal.
I never acted again. Well, obviously he was a pro basketball player, so he didn't.
But I mean, he just killed it.
Yeah, he was great.
The fact that it's kind of close to home with Coney Island, love that.
He was. What was his name? Jesus, right?
Jesus Shuttlesworth, bro.
Jesus Shuttlesworth. That's it.
From Lincoln High School.
Yes. Yeah. Was it Lincoln High School? Is
that what? I believe the story is, if you want to go there, here's another one, Above the Rim.
Above the Rim. Tupac. Who's the good guy in it though? Who's the one who throws the game? Who's the good guy?
Who plays a lot of who's the other guy who plays the guy who's dating his mom who comes back to be a security guard, because that guy plays some crazy roles too. What was his movie? And then he plays on the team at the end and kills it.
Yeah.
I think he actually gets shot at the end.
Yep. I mean, Hoosiers is so good that there's a lot of good basketball movies.
My favorite character in Hoosiers is the drunk assistant coach.
Oh, Dennis Hopper. I mean, I think he won the Academy Award for that role.
He plays a pretty good bad guy in a mid-90s movie.
He also plays a crazy person in another movie that I really like. The Unforgiven. He's the isn't Dennis Hopper in The Unforgiven where he's the guy that gets shot? Did you ever see The Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood? I don't know if you're into westerns, but
obviously you are right now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take Tombstone all day.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of. This is a good one. I don't know if you saw it.
We only got 10 minutes left. We can't go over at 2 hours.
All right, Glory Road.
2.5 hours.
Did you see Glory Road?
Glory Road about
Texas Western.
Who went to the finals, right?
I think they won
with a white coach. Right? Wasn't that the big thing?
Yeah, he's a famous coach. I can't think of the coach's name now.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That was good. I'm trying to see another one that I really liked. I didn't really watch Get Carter.
Nah, I didn't really either. I know it's a good story. There's a new one with Ben Affleck.
I didn't watch that one either. The Way Back.
I went and saw it in the movies. It's not so much a basketball movie as it is more like a personal type of overcoming those issues and things like that. But I liked it. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Oh, here we go. White Men Can't Jump.
Top 5 movie for me.
Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson.
And what's her name? She makes the movie.
Oh, Rosie Perez.
What is a quiche?
What is a quiche?
What is a quince?
I can't even do it. You do it better.
Foods that start with the letter Q.
Oh my! That's right.
You lost all the money.
She wanted to be on Jeopardy,
and she got there. And they said, "Who is the all-time leading scorer in the NBA?" She buzzes in and says, "Babe Ruth."
Oh, I forgot a definite top 5. You ready?
Go.
Love and Basketball.
Love and Basketball? Love story. Yeah. But it was a very good movie. Actually, probably, if I had to say, probably my sister's number 1 movie.
Love and Basketball?
Hands down.
Dan Farina gave us UTEP, which was Texas Western back then. Don Haskins, who just retired in the last probably 10 years, I think.
He was the head coach?
Yeah, he was the head coach.
I know it's a great story, and it's like it's one of those, not only is it a sports thing, but it was like a big
African-American.
Right. It was a big step for the country in those times.
Well, no, it was the first all African-American team, and they played Kentucky and Adolph Rupp, who was against integrating, and right. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. If I'm not I'm very sure. That's pretty good, man. I listen. This show somehow
kitchen sink,
dude. Well, let's put it like this. We got some good clips. We might just have to skip over all the early stuff and go right to the movies.
ESPN needs to hire us because we just did 2.5 hours like that.
What is the tennis? The tennis?
I don't know.
I don't know. I never even heard of it. I'm not sure. Well, that was great. I'll let you go.
That's without callers. Imagine if we had callers in here.
I know.
Well,
that's next. That's next. Coming soon, folks. Coming soon. All right. Well, you guys have a great day. That was a lot of fun.
Ravens, 9 points. I'm taking it. Here we go. Mark it down.
Oh, that's it.